Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Can I have your attention, please? So we would start the press conference of this Assembly 2024. A warm welcome to the journalists who will join us live online through live streaming. May I present the speakers today? It is Francesco Lacama, the Director General of IRENA, and Mr. Jimmy Gascoigne, the Assembly President, will join us in a minute as well. He is unfortunately stuck in the plenary with the members' intervention. He will join us when he is able to step out. And then we will continue the press conference. But let me start with Francesco Lacama and hand over the microphone to him. Sir, you have the floor.
Can I use this one, perhaps? So first of all, thanks for being here, showing attention to the work of the IRENA General Assembly. As you maybe have been listening in my welcome remarks this morning, this assembly is registering a new record of participants. In fact, it's the same number as it's quite amazing that we had 1,445 registered participants last year, and this year we have 1,444, so one less. But what is important to notice that last year we had many attractive elements. There was the COP28. So everyone, I think, was excited to come here and listen from the designated president's program for the future. It was the first General Assembly after 3 years in person, after 3 years. So also there was a strong wish to reconnect. So I think that this result today is giving a clear sign of the role that the membership attributes to the IRENA work and the attention to it. We have also registered a high participation at a level. This is also important, the ministerial level. So quite satisfied about that. Naturally, we have all the difficulties coming from these extraordinary days of raining and others, but now you can see, thanks to the people, the work of the people here, we are coming to the normality. So everything will be, I hope that you will follow the various ministerial. We are ready to launch in 1 hour, 20 minutes, our report on geopolitics of energy security. It's a new thinking of energy security that we will present. I think this may attract your attention. But we have many interesting ministerials. The APRA, the Accelerated Partnership for Africa for Renewables. We have the ETAF that is gaining attention more attention day after day. We have the work on the infrastructure. We have the work on skills. So I think that there is really all that can attract your attention. And I hope you can disseminate the messages coming from our General Assembly. That is coming just the historical COP28. So this General Assembly is important because we are opening and we are having a frank discussion among 170 countries. Here largely represented, we have 140 member states today here, and trying to see how we can really make the commitment become action. Because as you know, and then I stop, we are progressing in an amazing way on putting renewables on the ground. But the fact is that we are not at the pace that is consistent with the pathway for the achievement of the Paris Agreement goals. So this is something that has to be said very clear. COP28 give the direction, but we have really to do much more to work for a century that will be safe for us and for generations to come. Ready for your questions, if you have any.
Thank you very much, Francesco. I open the floor for questions while we wait for the Assembly President to join. First question over there, please.
Thank you. Mr. La Camera, Camera? I'm still not quite sure. During her intervention, the EU Energy Commissioner Simpson warned the attendants of, when it comes to deploying solar and wind, being too dependent on a single supplier.
Can you take a little bit closer?
Yeah, sure. During her intervention, EU Energy Commissioner Simpson warned the attendants of, when it comes to deploying wind and solar, being too dependent on a single supplier, probably China. Do you think that this is something that we still have time to concern ourselves with, especially the Global South, who just wants to deploy energy cheap and fast?
So, naturally, China has started to work on renewables some time before the others. And it's also thanks for the solar panel, a good price coming from China, that we have been this expansion for the renewable market. But it's evident that in a safe energy system is wise to have not only the decentralization of power, so of the supply, but also of the supply chain. This makes the system to be more healthy and ready to resist to shock. It's what we have studied in our economy course. No? Everyone we go closer to the perfect competition is better for the resilience of the market. So I think that naturally everyone should do their best to ensure that also from the supply side there is a decentralization of the supply itself.
Next question over here, please.
José María Torrijos Legaspi from Panama, CERTV, Public Media. Latin America, where's Latin America in all of this?
You know, Latin America is blessed by hydropower. A large part of renewables, you have countries that are very close to 100% renewables because of their hydropower. Naturally, there we have a few challenges too. One is that with the climate change, this may affect the capacity to provide electricity from hydropower. So one of the first things that is the need to decentralize, to have other form of energy, like solar and wind, that can compensate the year where we have more drought or something like this. So insurance, more resilience, having more source of clean energy. This is one aspect. The other aspect is also the interconnectivity. That is, the grids are a common element, a common barrier in different realities, with different scale, but the difficulties are for everyone. So grids that are interconnected among countries, in the country, grids that are flexible, that are balanced, is a key element to be considered in the region. I can also try to anticipate to you that we are trying to transfer the experience we are having with the accelerating partnership for renewable in Africa to other regions, like Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and South America. So we probably will be ready shortly to announce this, perhaps before the next COP29.
Thank you very much, Francesco. First of all, welcome, Minister, to this podium. We welcome Dr. Jimmy Gazor, the Assembly President. We have a lot of questions for you, sir. I suggest, because of the time constraints, we dive deep into immediately. And I would like to ask the LIDA network to come forward with your questions.
Thank you so much, Minister. My name is Aimable Twairu. I'm a science journalist based in Kigali, Rwanda.
I don't think I'm.
Thank you so much. My name is Aimable Twahiro. I'm a journalist based in Rwanda. My question goes to the Honorable Minister of Infrastructure for Rwanda. So, Minister, the lack of financial resources has been described as one of the important difficulties that can face in developing of renewable projects. So, could you please tell us a little bit how you'd like country to emulate Rwandan model as green funds concerned, maybe to implement some of the solution for the renewable energy financing mechanism? Thank you so much.
Thank you. You know, we have done a lot in developing countries to achieve access to electricity. But even though we have achieved a long journey, we still have a lot to do. We have explored the various mechanisms, including a public-private partnership, especially in the production side of electricity. But in order to get to the target of COP28 consensus, we need to scale up. We need to move faster than we are moving. That's why we think we need a ways to put together financial sources and government planning and government sources. So that's how I mentioned the model of Rwanda, how we have put together the green financing in general through the Rwanda Green Fund as a channel from which all investors and all donors in the green funds use to support green projects. I think a similar mechanism can be implemented in Africa, in developing countries, to finance this agenda, to finance the COP28 consensus of tripling the renewable energy by 2030 and doubling the energy efficiency. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. The tall lady in the back.
I don't know if you could hear me. Yeah, okay. Eva Levesque from Arabian Gulf Business Insight. I have a question to Mr. La Camera. During the conference, European Union Commissioner, Energy Commissioner, said that you, IRENA, the International Energy Agency, and European Union, you are working on a monitoring system to track the achievements and advancing of commitments. So I would like to know a little bit more about this mechanism, and are you going to keep the leadership of this in terms of renewables?
You know, we have our outlook that comes every year, and now we are moving the outlook to be the main instrument for monitoring the energy outcome of COP28. So we have in our knowledge capacity the tools for monitoring the outcome of COP28. In this respect, we will not only present this monitoring through our outlook, but we will present also for every COP a short summary for policymakers where we just provide them with the data, design the reality, where we are and where the challenges remain. And on this we have on board the COP28 presidency. We have working with the COP29, we have the Global Renewable Alliance, and we are working naturally in collaboration with the European Commission. So these are the main way to provide countries with an easy instrument to understand where we are.
Thank you. Ben, please.
Director General, we've heard a lot at this conference about financing renewables and the challenges of doing that. Can I ask, how much of a role do you think the sale of carbon credits by renewable energy developers can play in solving that challenge? And do you have any view on whether the announcement last week by the Science Based Targets Initiative can help to accelerate things in that regard?
So, on this, we surely think that the question of carbon credit, others, is the question of the price. So how we make the price be in line with the internalization of externality, give a real sense of where the market has to go. You can influence the price in many ways. You can put CO2 tax. You can stop to subsidize fossil fuel. You provide subsidies for renewables or other. You create policy option for maybe having more green hydrogen requests on the market. We can use carbon credits. I think that an array of instruments should apply in coherence with the national or regional, domestic or regional circumstances. For example, the EU has already the emission trade system that now is enlarging to other sectors. And so its own capability to make the price right. Other reality may have other system. So I don't think that we have to call it to a magic tool. We have to think about different tools that can apply differently in different realities.
The gentleman behind. Yes.
Hi, I'm Kenton Chance of the Caribbean Media Corporation. Yesterday, the Minister of Energy from Dominica, he called for what he called SIDS appropriate renewable energy solutions. To what extent do you think that such an approach would help SIDS to scale up and accelerate their transition?
So, concerning SIDS, one of the main questions is the size of the market in the SIDS. That sometimes doesn't provide for the business case for new plants. But we can work together, we are working together, and Dominica can showcase the example that we have been able working together to finalize the financial close for a geothermal plant in Dominica, something that was impossible to think 5 years ago, already 6 months ago. So putting different actors together, Israeli technology, Iceland knowledge, support for the World Bank, political support to have this project. At the end, we've been able to have geothermal for Dominica. I hope that this project, and we are starting to work for Kitty and Nevis. In this case, for small islands that have a geothermal potential. Other opportunity, but we think that for the small islands, we have to look not only on concessional loan for funding, but we also need a share of grants for making possible projects to be, palatable for private investment.
Thank you. Question from the lady in the front.
Okay. My name is Flora Limuki from CNBC Africa, based in Kigali, Rwanda. My question is to the minister. I would ask, you could provide us, I know Rwanda aims to get renewable energy up to 60% by 2030. Therefore, could you provide to us updates on the progress on renewable energy practices such as solar and hydroelectric in Rwanda, as well as how that is pegged to environmental conservation in Rwanda?
Thank you. Now Rwanda is at the 54% renewable energy. And we are investing most in hydro and solar energy. For hydro, you know we have already commissioned an 80 megawatt power plant in Rusumo. We are developing 47 megawatt hydro in Nyabarongo, and another 206 megawatt that is shared between Rwanda, Burundi, and Congo, 3 neighboring countries. We also have up to 23% in some home solar kits These are small power solar systems that we distribute at different homes. These have helped us a lot to achieve a good mix of renewable. And last year we have decommissioned a few thermal power plants. These were running on fossil fuel, was running on heavy fuel oils, and we have replaced them by a gas plant. Gas is not entirely renewable, but is much cleaner than the fossil fuel we're using. Gas, I meant methane gas. People may not know, but in Rwanda you have a lake that has methane in it, and you use that methane to generate power. That's also a much cleaner option than running on the fossil fuel or peat that were used in the past. So looking ahead, we believe we will achieve 60%, but the target of UAE consensus is to achieve more. We have the potential, and we need a collective and a global efforts to accelerate and move faster toward tripling the renewable energies. So for case of Rwanda, we'll achieve much more than 60%, but we are moving toward that.
Thank you, Minister. Next question.
Alessandro Farrugia from QN Italy. I have a question for Francesco La Camera. As you said, we have done a lot. We are on the right track, but we are still far from the goal that we have to reach. I think there is one problem also of imbalance in between regions and countries. There are countries that are performing extremely well, like, for example, China, which is doing a lot, and other countries which are not, for various reasons, not performing so well. How to face this problem and find a solution, probably solutions different country to country. I think it's an important issue to be resolved. Thank you.
So we have presented today the data showing this inequality. In our report, we have already tried to pass the message that we have to work to make the development working for the building of the new energy system. So trying to have development and the building of clean energy system working together. What does it mean? Just an example that is close to us, Africa. Africa is the most important powerhouse today for renewables and green hydrogen. But they cannot benefit as African citizens, and they cannot make the world benefit of their potential if the infrastructure that make possible trade the renewables and hydrogen as molecule or as electron are there. So as has been after the Second World War, I repeat again, without the support we have received from the States with the Marshall Plan, Europe was not today where it is today. So we have to imagine a plan for the infrastructure in Africa. Our call has been already from a couple of years that the multilateral financial institutions in their process of reform has not only to come to be more inclusive in their decision-making process and provide more concessional loans and grants. They will also focus on what are the first priority. In our point of view, the first priority is infrastructure and the association of the concept of development to the concept of building the new energy system. If we develop, we have revenue, we can create demand for the energy, so we can sell the clean energy to people.
Would you like to add something, Minister?
Yes, thank you. What I would like to add is the UAE consensus has created a momentum, mostly a political momentum, towards tripling renewable energies by 2030. I hope and expect this 14th Assembly of IRENA will help translate that momentum into action, or at least create tools and decisions that moves towards actions so that we can achieve the target of 2030. Thank you.
Thank you. Question here.
Okay, my name is Kingsley Jeremiah. I work for The Guardian in Nigeria. And DG, I want to specifically ask you, last year the Renewable Energy Roadmap for Nigeria was launched. I want to ask, is there any updates currently on the roadmap? Secondly, we've seen leadership change both at the Nigerian Energy Commission and also at the political level. Has that affected the plan in any way? And thirdly, in terms of financing, the plan has a financing plan of about 1.2 trillion. Has anything happened in terms of unlocking finance for the plan?
So when we are talking about trillion, we are talking about the world, not only Nigeria. But concerning the implementation of the roadmap that we have been able to present, one first moment will be the investment forum that we will organize in Nairobi in September, end of September, first day of October this year. I hope that in that occasion we will be able to present a consistent number of projects, so a good pipeline of projects that we can present to the potential investors. I hope that this investment forum will be a first moment to change the speed in trying to fund projects in that part of the world.
We have time for one last question.
Hello, my question is for La Camera. My name is Indra. I work from Antara, Indonesia News Agency. So I will ask specifically about Southeast Asia. So the region shows very modest progress in renewable energy process, including Indonesia. They talked about barriers in technology and infrastructure to increase the renewable energy. And most of country has barrier in regulatory itself. So how do you see that? What's your message to Southeast Asia countries to increase its renewable energy? Because most of the countries in Southeast Asia has rich resources of energy. Thank you.
So concerning Indonesia, we have been presenting a domestic out for Indonesia, where we also try to highlight the policies and the instruments that can be used to accelerate the transition. Naturally, you have to think that Indonesia traditionally was coal dependent, so naturally they have to go their path. But they have also interesting example of energy community and others that we work with. They also are under the JP initiative, and we as ARENA we will present in the occasion of the next ASEAN Ministerial a new detailed plan for the infrastructure in the region that I hope may help to overcome or at least giving an idea of where the investment in infrastructure should go. In the meantime, we are also thinking to have an initiative like APRA for that region. So we are working on that. Hopefully we can come with something before the COP29.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to our speakers today. This concludes the press conference. I wish you all a very good day. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.